Facebook. We are live on YouTube. We are
What up?
here. It's Tuesday, 8 p.m. Um, I guess we could start with the hottest thing that we are talking about so far is Houston
Running
Texans.
back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
I might have an opinion for you.
all right.
I don't know what it is. But the only thing I do know is I do think that everybody feels like we're going to do something,
Yeah.
which is encouraging to me. I mean,
So
technically you have to do something because all you have is Pierce.
yeah, that's true. Something's gonna be made. I know they talked to, of course, the combine. Aaron Wilson talked to D'Amico, and he talked to the media. Um, and he was talking, of course, about Devin Singletary and what he did. But it was one of those cryptic message kind of where it's like, hey, we liked what he did, but we're not going to commit to him type of thing. Like,
But I feel like D'Amico does that with everything.
yes.
Like
And
everything's open ended with him.
same thing he did with Dalton Schultz. Hey, we like what he did. He did well. We'll see how free agency goes. Same thing he did with Jonathan Grenard. He's
Hmm.
just, I'm not going to pin myself to something, but I'm also going to let him know how I respect how they played.
That's why I can't wait for the day when he yells at somebody for something. Like when he gets mad, I was like, I want to see D'Amico cussing. He might not cuss, but like if he disagrees at a call or something, I was like, I can't wait for that day.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure it happens behind the scenes for sure. Um, but I was looking at like Aaron Wilson, so he put a video up, and he was talking about Saquon Barkley, and he's saying that his number one destination, preferred destination, is the Houston Texans.
Hmm.
And there's been talks, of course. He said where there's smoke, there's fire, like we always say. But he said there's also other running backs that are interested in coming, and a lot of them are, I guess, into contact with CJ and other players. As you know, legally you can't, but it happens.
Did it say who these running backs may or may not be?
He did not specify. He said over the week he will be at the combine. So over the week I will be listening to these videos so then I can post on our Facebook right here for everybody.
Well, that's encouraging.
Yeah. And I mean, there's a lot of running backs. I mean, we have our videos that y'all can check out and our stuff. But I mean, of course, Saquon, Derrick Henry, Austin Eckler, Tony Pollard, and then Devin
Swift.
Singletary, Swift, DeAndre Swift is another name that's been popping up a lot. Um, and then there's a few that we call our backup, picks that depending on who we get. And
Word.
so I mean,
Singletary.
there's it. It's just interesting because where our position was last year to this year
Hmm.
is night and day.
Well,
Like,
it's weird because people a lot of people keep saying like what they do in free agency is going to tell you what they're going to do in the draft, and I was like, maybe I don't know if that's necessarily true
yeah, with
because like you're building a team, so you're going to take some good players. You know what I'm saying? Like, say you get a mid receiver, that doesn't mean we won't draft a receiver second round. You know what I mean?
I mean, one thing that Nick and D'Amico have pretty much said is we're going to draft talent, and our
Mm-hmm.
board may not be the exact board of other people's board, but so if we like a guy and he's there, we're going to get him, and we'll figure out the good problem to have later. And I mean, it just makes sense in football standpoints of if I think this player is going to pan out at that pick, I'd rather pick that player than force it and pick somebody that may not pan out, and then you just wasted a pick.
Yep.
I say you can always, if you have an influx of, let's say, receivers, you can always trade some, and I mean, I'm fine with it. I
I
know.
heard that today. Like, if Justin Jefferson gets traded, would you trade for him?
Ooh,
So
that's
say the scenario is like, say they want two firsts and a player for Justin Jefferson, and you have to sign him his 5 year extension. It was like 5 for 150 or something. And the scenario would be like if Minnesota plays their cards right, they'll get 2 late first round picks from Houston and Tank Dell.
I mean, it's JJ,
That's a lot of money though,
but
bro.
that's a lot of money and a lot of years when I know I have a quarterback that I'm gonna have to lock in. I get he's on a rookie deal, but I just feel that, and I feel like as much as the fan standpoint of it, of getting rid of Tank Dell, I'd be like, okay, I'm getting an upgrade. You also got to take in consideration the human aspect of it. Of that's
Hmm.
CJ's boy. They've been going everywhere together. Like they've been going
Yeah,
to U of
no,
H
but
games.
we're talking about Justin Jefferson.
I get it,
In
but
my opinion, he's the best in the business.
he is. But I do feel that a human aspect comes into play also. If my quarterback's like if a dude was a scrub, like he's like a
So
fifth
would you
string.
feel a lot more comfortable if you gave up Nico Collins instead of Tank Dell?
Yes.
Then there ain't no human aspect to it. Because you're unless you're willing to say I give a fuck more about him than I do you.
Well, that's what it feels like. Like when you see CJ, like they're out on jet skis the other day, and CJ, Tank, Michi, they were all. I mean, of course, they're younger and they're more relatable in that sense. It just, that's them. I mean, I've seen CJ at so many U of H games with Tank recently. Like I forgot he didn't wasn't a Cougar. It was like I was like, damn, bro.
That's what Ryan Presley said. Him and Jokes were watching U of H game, and it was like 30 seconds left, and then a spotter came and turned the TV off on him.
No, no more. Nah. Looking at defense because that seems to not be getting any spotlight, which is kind of
It's
it's not.
because the Grenard thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, and that kind of plays a major part, I guess. In
Or it could be like them bullshit signing trades, like that Brian Burns thing.
yeah.
I'll take that deal, maybe.
So he said D'Amico talked about Jonathan Grenard. He says we'll see in regards to his free agency. He said when the market we'll see what the market offers him. When a defensive end hits the market like him, well, you can ask for a lot. He said one NFC executive believes that Grenard will command 22 to 24 million.
So basically, what they're saying is if his asking price is going to be more than the franchise tag, they're just going to tag him and pay less for 1 year and then worry about it again next year.
Yeah. I said he does want to come back though from what Aaron Wilson said that he has a overwhelming desire to come back and play with the Texans.
Oh, we want him back too. Then if it's overwhelming, then have a fair price tag on it.
Yeah. It's like, look, bro, we won't franchise tag you, but we'll give you this.
We'll give you 17 million a year plus incentives. Like
Yeah.
if you do this many sacks or you play this many snaps, then you'll get paid this.
Do you, do you think that you should franchise tag him if he's would he be the guy that you franchise tag for the
He would be the only person that I would even consider.
yeah.
I mean, because I'm not about to give a shit ton of money to like Schultz or nobody.
Yeah. What up, Dan? Welcome to the show, bro. Um Dalton Schultz. Interesting one. Because we've had many videos talking about it of are we gonna sign him? He's arguably and easily pretty much the best tight end on the market.
Yes.
And of course, D'Amico said that there's a mutual interest in both sides. Of course, he wants to come back, but of course, if it's right, he enjoyed having him. He liked what he did. He said Dalton did a really nice job in the pass game, we'll see what happens in free agency with Dalton. But I'm proud of what he did this year.
Yeah, I definitely want to. I think he's coming back. I think he'll be a Texan.
I mean, I'm cool with that because if not, then the only one I can think of that I'll take a shot on. I mean, we have Brevin Jordan. I like that still.
You got Tegan Quintoriano. You got Andrew Beck.
True, true. What about what's his name that got dropped from Atlanta?
Jonnu Smith.
Yeah,
I mean, I would think about it.
like that was surprising a little bit to me, but 1 year he did pretty decent. I mean,
I mean, yeah.
like
I mean,
better
that
than
was like 4 games in a row where he was being used more than Kyle Pitts.
yeah, no, he outplay that. Steven goes, who's the big names on the market? I mean,
Like
big
offensively, like Mike Evans,
Michael Pittman.
Pittman, Derrick Henry, Saquon. Uh, I guess defensively, like Chris Jones, Matabuke, L'Jarius Sneed, Jalen Johnson.
Matabuke is one of the
That's what
players.
I'm saying. Like Houston's only going to make one big purchase this offseason. It's either going to be Grenard's franchise tag for 22 million, or we're going to get like Christian Wilkins to play defensive tackle.
No.
I could see that's what they're going to do. Spend money on that D line. Draft a corner.
Save the money, Dalton, and make 2 purchases at free agency.
Yep. I mean, but on who? Like, why am I going to make 2 purchases when Dalton can do everything we needed that position to do? I don't know. I was a fan of his this year.
I liked him this year. I mean,
That catch he had inside the 5 against Tennessee when he took that ball out of that safety's hand to save the pick from being thrown, that might be one of the greatest Texans play, if not the greatest Texan play ever.
Mike Evans and D line help. Look,
He can't
Mike,
afford both.
I'm about to say, if Mike Evans wanted to come here and took a hell of a deal, I'd say, let's do it. He's arguably going to be probably the highest paid free agent in this free agency, which can't be mad at a guy getting his bag because in sports, go get your bag and then you can get traded later.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the biggest thing. Milo says get Jefferson. Well, that's what Zach said. Would you trade Tank Dell and 2 first-round picks for him?
And pay him 5 years, 150.
Yeah. And then hope that you're
The only way that I could even talk myself into thinking to do that, and it's not a shot at Josh Jefferson because he's the best receiver in football, is if you believe that you can draft well. So you can keep, cycling through players instead of re-signing players.
yeah. It's like I get the big names. Trust me, I get the big names. But it's also football is a team sport. You can have the
See, listen. I do believe there are certain players that really can do it on their own.
yeah.
I believe that. Justin Jefferson is one of those guys. There's just something about the thought of C.J. Stroud and Justin Jefferson, and you could put up numbers that rival all-time greats.
You can't. Now, I need to see then, and that's where it comes back down to: do you trust your draft skills enough that if you were to do that, you're gonna get it because you're locking in a receiver for 5 years, and then more likely you're gonna lock your quarterback in. But then what do you do at running back? You're gonna have to get somebody cheaper then, and hope that it pans out.
You're already tied up at O-line, so I mean you're good there.
Yes. I think it's become a star-driven league like the NBA.
It kind of has.
Man, we would be better than the Bengals quick. That's like Hill at Tua.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I get it, but it's not a given that you're gonna win. But it's not a given either if you don't get it. And I mean, I just don't know how I feel about tying all my money up into a receiver. I guess since it's difficult because you're giving up not just the player, which you know is a solidified receiver, whether it's Nico or Tank, but you're also giving up 2 picks.
Mm-hmm.
Which if you win, where it all matters, then those 2 picks don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But being a fan of the Texans, also I like having picks. I don't want to hinder my future also too much.
But not to say that that's a bad train of thought, but I also got to think about the right now. And let me tell you what I do know right now. The fucking secondaries in our division suck.
Yes.
So he will come in this division and fucking eat.
Yes.
So that transaction alone might guarantee you the division.
Well, Marlo says, man, I miss Chubby Nick, man. I just like okay, looking at Dak, CD,
Mm-hmm.
Burrow, what's his name?
Chase.
Chase, yeah, like Tua, Tyreek, I mean Mahomes and Travis Kelsey, pretty much. Lamar, Mark Andrews, like everybody has their it guy. And it's usually a
Mm-hmm.
big guy. As I said, I'm not mad at it. It's just, man, it's gonna be. I don't think it's a logical trade that Nick and D'Amico are gonna do.
Yeah, I don't think they do it either, but it's like fun to put that Madden hat on every once in a while.
It is, but
But you're right though. Like all those teams, they have the 1-2 punch. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But then the teams that don't, like San Francisco, they're the ones in the Super Bowl when they play team football.
I mean, look at Detroit. They got a dominant receiver, and it's weird. Like, are we putting disrespect? Like, I'm not saying Nico Collins is up there, upper echelon with these receivers by any
Mm-hmm.
means, but are we disrespecting the guy that pretty much held that
Well, he
receiver room
carried
down?
us for a little bit,
I
but
mean,
like, I mean, you got to keep doing it
no, I know.
because I mean, my thing is that there was quite a few people who looked good in the system. Noah Brown had
Yeah,
2 monster games. Tank was balling when Nico wasn't. And it was like we said all season. It's like if you stop Tank, Nico goes off. If you stop Nico, Tank goes off. And it was just like that's how we play football. And CJ knew how to make it work. But I get what you're saying. Like he should be considered.
I don't want to say.
He's like the third tier of good.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I think.
Seven goes, I think we drafted well in 23 and 22, which should support our depth for the future. I believe we draft well rounds 4 through 6 from here on out and go for big names. But I like the defensive side more than the offensive side.
True.
I'm an offensive person. Like, I've never been like, oh man, let's go get, like, half of the dudes that Zach named, I don't even know who the hell they were until I had to go look them up. But it's just, to me, it's like Mike Evans. I feel like the price range is going to be way too out there. Michael Pittman, I would love it because you get a younger receiver, you steal him from one of your rivals in AFC, and then it's just right
I'm
after
just
that.
like so confident in CJ though. I don't need that. I can just go pluck toys for CJ to use.
Yeah,
Like, imagine Shaheed on our team. Literally, he's going to be like, "Look, just every time I say hut, you go that way."
yeah.
And
Ah,
yep,
ah.
and 1 or 2 times a game, he's going to throw one.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of receiver I want.
Marlo says San Francisco got Kittle, 2 wideouts, and 3 running backs. Dan goes Jalen has AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. Stephen McFarland goes Nico is a nice secondary or premium third option.
True.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like, all right, do we want the running back or do we want the receiver? That's a
The
big,
running back.
because I feel the running back is, if you get the receiver and you get a shitty running back, I mean, that's gonna be fun and all to watch some touchdowns, but we literally had multiple games where it looked like our running game was non-existent.
It was. It
Yeah.
just wasn't there.
Yes, and so I feel like if you can get a big name running back, because all the running backs are getting disrespected in the in the league pretty much from what everybody's saying. So their prices are going down.
Mm-hmm. And there's a shit ton of them.
Yes, and you get a running back, and then you figure out a receiver. After that, in a heartbeat, Dan, I can say that for Zach too. Would you trade for Brandon Ayuk from San Fran?
What would you give up?
What do they want?
I can't give up a first round pick. I can't do it.
I can barely hear you.
I said I wouldn't give up a first round pick.
You wouldn't give up a first for him?
Nope. I'll give you like a second and a fourth.
Yeah, because he's not JJ talent. All right. What about, let's go through disgruntled receivers. AJ Brown.
No, I don't want him. Keep him.
Stephon Diggs.
I don't want him. Keep him.
Yeah. That's really all I mean.
No, because like, what about like George Pickens?
Ooh.
I'll trade for Pickens.
Yeah. He's a little highlight reel.
Terry McLaurin.
Scary Terry. Help him get some.
I'll give up a third round pick and a fourth round pick for Terry McLaurin. That's a lot. I can't do that.
I'll say I don't like him that much.
Me neither.
I'll give him a 6 for my boy Logan. Just so I can buy a shirt.
Elijah Moore.
Ooh. And that's, I think that's where like I'm in the mode of I want a starter running back. I'll take 2 running backs and then give me some better depth at receiver. Give me a
Kendrick Bourne.
Kendrick Bourne. I love Kendrick Bourne. Since you said it, I love the fact of Kendrick Bourne joining this receiver group. Get rid of Robert Woods. Get rid of Noah Brown. Upgrade it more. Give multiple weapons to CJ. 7 goes if it was 2019.
What?
What about Shaquille Barrett? Would you take a look at him? Outside linebacker, Tampa.
Yeah, the one that Tampa. He's productive, but he's old. It'll just be like
depth.
Upgrade Jerry Hughes. No, that's the problem. Is he's not depth. He's gonna need to start.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's gonna be that cheap.
Stefan he said for Terry would be 2019.
Yeah, that ain't a lie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Terry could help the team. I mean, I'm not going to plead a case for him because I don't fucking like him that much, but...
He's like, look, if we get him, cool, but no, I'm not going to go.
I mean, he wouldn't even be my first receiver off that team. I'd have said Curtis Samuel a million times.
I said, I want Curtis more than him.
For some reason, like what Elijah Moore did for like 3 weeks for Cleveland this year, we could use on our team.
Who was the other one you talked about? Mooney, right? Darnell Mooney
from the Bears. Yeah.
Yeah. There's gonna be some players I know that Nick and D'Amico go after that we're like
Josh Reynolds, maybe.
Because we also got to figure out who fits the D'Amico Ryan's mindset.
Bro, for what he's getting, Nick Westbrook Akine, whatever the fuck is, like, he's a D'Amico player and he's hella cheap.
And we know if you can catch balls from Will Levis and Ryan Tannehill, you'll be good in our system.
Yep.
Because you can catch pretty much anything. He's big and cheap.
Yes.
Cheap.
That fool was, I think they projected him to ask for 3 years, $7 million or some shit.
Give it to him.
Yep.
It's like, bye, Noah Brown. Robert Woods, bye.
A lot of people today on the radio were talking about they're okay with letting Robert Woods go, but they wanted Noah Brown back. I don't hate that, though.
You don't hate that?
I mean, if you had to keep one of them.
Oh, if I had to keep one, I'm keeping Noah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think in order to keep Noah, they'd have to get rid of Robert Woods, and then they'll go try to bring somebody else in.
Yeah.
And or draft a receiver.
Yeah. Like from Dan goes, would you sign Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown?
See, I was about to say this. Would you rather use a second round pick for a receiver that might be real good and then also increase workload on Xavier Hutchins and John Mechie, or go get a receiver? Because I think you have a better chance of finding out how good those receivers are with a better run game.
And that's where I feel we never get the full story from our Nick, D'Amico, all that stuff. They kind of like to be mysterious. But from the media standpoint, it seems like all eyes are on running back.
Yes.
And which we know that's our biggest need on the offense for sure. So it feels like they're going to go running back and then whatever falls in line after that type of thing. Which
you have to if you want your pick.
And that's what I'm saying. It also is smart because you don't want to be like, hey, Mike Evans, we're going to give you this money, and then you lose out on the next 5 running backs.
Exactly.
And it's like, oh, cool. We have fucking Cam Akers. It's like, yeah, this is awesome. Like, no, I want to. I think a dominant running back that can take away from, like you said,
Saquon, because you could open the playbook. You get more plays. Because you, like, say you had 2 running backs, you could literally play like 2 receivers, a tight end, and 2 running backs. And if you had Singletary and Saquon standing back there, like, oh fuck, we don't know what they're to do now. You know what I mean? It's a whole nother dynamic.
If you had to pick 2 running backs for them to get a starter and a backup, who are you picking?
I'm going Saquon. No, I'm going DeAndre Swift and probably Singletary.
I like that. I'm gonna go Saquon. And I don't know what. I was looking at stuff. I'm gonna go with your boy J.K. Dobbins.
Right. I'm telling you, if he finds his way to a Houston jersey, he will stay healthy. It's just the wonky shit way that sports works. But he'll be just fine here.
We got Methodist. We're fine.
But like on a talent level, he's the one you would want.
Yes. I said Barkley, him, and then you have Pierce, of course, because he's cheap, keeping him. Stefan goes, sadly, we might go running back by committee. I don't think we're going to do that again. You got to give Slovic.
Not.
You got to give Slovic something. He goes, I forgot about Dobbins. The dude's crazy good. Zach was talking about him in our video. It's going to be coming out tomorrow morning. It's Singletary versus the rest of the field.
Bro, it's like in basketball. DeMarcus Cousins tore his Achilles against the Rockets and they ended up on the Rockets. Same shit.
Yeah. College Dobbins was nuts. Hell yeah, it was. I had to go.
Yep.
I was looking at it. I was like, let me look at this. Let me be productive. And I was like, damn, this boy's a baller. I mean, tore his Achilles and stuff, but that's fine.
He was kicking the shit out of us before he tore his Achilles.
Yeah, no, I remember. I was like, name me one of the running backs that hasn't been hurt. That's a free agent right now. Oh, they all.
Yeah, but that fool just came back from like a tore ACL or some shit.
Yeah, I know.
It's like,
I mean, it's all in all. I think we're going running back, receivers, and then defense, beef up defense, and then.
I think they're going D lineman in an early pick.
Gonna be fun. The combine is fun. We got a lot of.
Forgot about that.
It's gonna be a good one.
When is the combine?
Well, they're already. Yeah, so they're there right now. Media days right now. So that's why it's like right now they're. That's why they're all answering questions. I know they're gonna. Nick's talking tomorrow with Aaron Wilson and the media, so we'll know a lot more. Which he'll be.
I guarantee you don't.
I was like, we're not gonna get anything from him because he's gonna be like, we're just gonna talk to free agents and we're gonna see what they do, and their agents are gonna talk to us, and we're gonna, be ready for whenever they want to. It's gonna be a whole circle of just nonsense.
He gonna leave there feeling dumber. It's like shit. I thought I knew something.
At this point, first round is best available since we don't have a top 10 pick.
That's what I said.
Receiver, defense. Are we getting a running back in one of the later rounds?
Yes.
You were. I remember on our live that we did. We go live every draft. We were ahead of all the picks on TV, and you were like, the Texans need to get Achan. You kept saying it since day one. You said it day two.
I even said, I remember this day last year, I said Devon Achane from Texas A&M is going to be the fastest player at the combine. Ask Caleb. I told it to Caleb and I told it to Star. And they were like, what the fuck ever. And sure as hell, he was the fastest player there.
You call a lot. You got the Puka Nakua stuff right. Before I thought you were talking about Lilo and Stitch movie or something. You were like, this guy Puka Nakua is going to be really good. And I was like, okay, Zach, whatever. So, Zach will do his research. Zach will bring in all the stuff you need to know for sure.
Try to, at least.
Yeah. Especially on defense.
I'm locked in.
Called that last year.
So it's because, like, I genuinely just like football. So, like, I think you could kind of identify how a team's being built, and you can see college players and be like, oh, I could see how we would use that dude's skills. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you asked me one time, you're like, when you watch football, do you watch the offense first or the defense first? And I was like, offense. And you're like, I watch defense. I was like, huh?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we watch it differently. Okay. And then I started watching it your way. I was like, oh, I see a little bit. I don't know all the schemes and everything, but I know enough.
It makes it fun, right? Because, like, you get older and you feel like you know more than the game. And it's like, no, there's a lot going on here.
It's like, I can respect it more also. I think, like, for the athlete standpoint, I'm like, okay, I could see, like, if I'm only watching the offense, I'm like, damn, dude got burnt. But it's like, oh, wait, no, this happened or whatever. Or this player ran into this player. It's like, Devin goes, shit, I'm going to try that. It's
simple. It's not like crazy shit we do. It's just like the first thing, you just have to kind of look at the play right off the rip as the quarterback is seeing it. Like, where are your safeties at? Are they close? Are they far? Middle field open, middle field closed? Or where the corner standing? Are they close? You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh, I get it. I see what they're doing. And you understand offense a little bit better because you're trying to, like, beat that shit. I don't know. It's just fun.
We'll be having a lot more for sure on draft, especially as it approaches. Combine, free agency, draft. Free agency, I think, is in a week or two. So
it's on the 13th.
Yeah. So it's coming in hot. Perfect time for me. That's spring break time for me.
And we might have some fine dignitaries that we may or may not know join us for some combine, pre-draft shit.
Fun. So I'll be on the lookout for that. We can move on. You got anything else to add for the Texans?
Nah, I'll have plenty more as time goes by. I'll make shit up on a daily basis.
NFL always hogs the most of the sports calendar, pretty much. But I mean, it's number
one.
It's
a beautiful thing, though. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And plus, it's still early in baseball. Because, like, what? When's draft? Like April 20-something? Yeah. After that, you go, like, what? 2 months with nothing?
It's just baseball.
Just baseball.
One random hockey game. Oh, a SaberCats rugby game. What the hell is this? And then Dynamo or thing again? Oh, yeah. It's one of those things, yeah, for sure. If you watch one of the big three, throw hockey in as a big four, then you're kind of like, for 2 months, like, what is this? Oh, it's just baseball.
I mean, I am excited it's baseball, but it's bad that I have World Series aspirations for the Astros and they still are falling number 2 on the depth chart to the Texans.
Yeah.
It's just something about this city when football's going good, bro.
Football, we love our Astros, but football is king, man. It just is king. Speaking of the Astros, we'll get into the Rockets shit in the bed. That for sure. But
The Astros been kind of shit in the bed too.
yeah, I was gonna say I've tried to keep up with most of the games. They're not online. I mean, they're not like on live TV. Some of them are like kind of there. But I have noticed like okay, they'll have a guy or two, then they'll take them out. They're trying to really see, I guess, who their rotations are because you know who your locked in rotation is.
Mm-hmm.
Has there anybody been though that you're kind of I don't want to say disappointed in, but you're kind of like
I haven't seen a pack like enough of anybody yet to say I'm disappointed in anybody. To be honest, but like today, you had like a good start from Eric Getty, and then the bullpen comes in and got fucked off. So I mean, that's not encouraging.
yeah. It's one of those things for sure where it's like, all right, what's going on here? Let's get all this out now. Let's
But then also, it's like that's not who's going to be pitching. That would be Fromber. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, all right, cool. All right. Like this is one of those like game like Urquidy starting and then he got rocked in like 95th game of the season.
I was very pleased with how Urquidy looked today.
No, he looked really good.
Like if you have good expectations for him, he could be a good rotation, like 6-man rotation starter. Because all I'm looking for you to do is chew up innings.
Yes.
5 good, 6 great.
Anything after that is equity.
Yep.
No, I mean, looking at it, you got to look at it from a magnifying glass. A lot of people are looking at the rotation of like the lineup of okay, Jose Alvarez, how that going to work out? Where's Jeremy Pena, Bregman, everybody? But then you also realize like they're not playing the whole game. They'll get like 1 or 2 at bats, and then all right, next person. All right, next person. And so that's why I think we take it with a grain of salt for sure. I mean, we're playing in 2 leagues right now. It's spring training, like it says.
I mean, if there's one thing that I've taken notice to that I do like, is that we're striking out a lot because we're aggressive at the plate. I mean, it's better than looking at shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to take a while for Espada to figure out what rotation he wants to keep. The coaching staff's pretty much the same, so you'll get, of course, healthy starters, which then helps the bullpen, and then you'll have a full lineup of the starters. Of course, when we know baseball players, when you sometimes you'll struggle, but you see that pitcher the second time, third time, and it's like, oh, okay.
That's funny because, like, is there a way that this season goes by where Espada has to shuffle the lineup to where the odd man out is Bregman? Because I just feel like they're adamant about having Jordan in that 2-hole.
Yeah.
So does it make sense to have Jordan, Bregman, Tucker? I mean, we've done it before, but it's like, you know how I feel about going lefty-lefty.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to put fucking Abreu in the 3 and then Abreu at the 4 or 5.
Yeah. It's early spring. I wouldn't worry until late May. Yeah. And then, so who plays third?
I don't know. I don't know.
Luckily, we don't have to make that decision.
I would offer Bregman a contract right now. Tell him it's there the whole season.
Like, this is your contract.
This is what we can offer you. You have the whole season to think about it. And when free agency starts next offseason, we're going to look for third baseman.
I ain't mad at that. I mean,
that's what I would do.
I'm cool with it.
And I don't know what the god awful fucking hats we were wearing today were, but don't do that again.
think I know which one you're talking about.
Them orange ones, they look like they were all shiny. They look like something like fucking Sunkiss would have put out as a promo in the 70s or something.
Hmm. I mean, trying to see what they were.
They're ugly, bro.
I mean, I believe. Oh yeah, these things. Yeah, they were. Yeah, those are a little much. Yeah, no, we can get rid of those. We'll put those in like a little time capsule with those
Blue
San
uniforms.
Diego, those San Diego uniforms that
The Rockets wore.
Rockets had. Yeah, those blue ones that the Astros had bad luck in.
Mm-hmm.
7 years, 240 question mark.
For Bregman, absolutely not. No dice. Hell no. Uh-uh. I would offer him pretty much what probably a little bit more than you gave Altuve, to be honest with you. What did he get? 125? I'd come in at
130.
I was gonna say 5 for 140.
Well, you still get all your HEB commercials. You still get all your truck commercials.
And you have a chance to win here.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can do like fucking Springer and go play for the Blue Jays for more money and suck.
I feel like since he's like, we always compared Altuve, Steph Curry for us, Bregman's Klay Thompson. At some point, bro, you gotta look out for us too.
True.
And I get it. I'm not mad. If you want to go get your money, you definitely deserve it. You have done enough for this team to where I will not hold any resentment towards you for getting your money.
Oh, I told you I pack your shit for you.
Yeah. But it's also, I want you here, but I got to do what's best for the team going forward. Also, I can't hinder myself.
But then it goes back to who's gonna play third base.
That's the question too, because I have no idea.
So there's a couple choices here.
Ooh, all right.
You can consider going to put Pena at third base and find you a shortstop. That's what I would. That's just the option, I guess.
Yeah. Look, Bregman, I just need you to resign. I need that defense.
Yeah, quit being a bitch, bro. Just sign the extension, stay here for 5 more years, and then in 5 years play first base for us for like 2 or 3. Fucking done. You can leave at 40.
See, this is why we need him just to sign. It makes more sense. Just
Yes.
sign, bro. Just sign. We love you, bro. You are Houston. It's like, I already enjoy your HEB commercials, bro. Don't take that from me.
I was gonna say, go if you want to stay that bad, go beat the shit out of Lance McCullers and tell him to give some of that money back, and then we.
It's like, you son of a.
You son of a bitch! I gotta leave because you don't do nothing.
It's like, hey Lance, we're gonna restructure your deal where a quarter of it goes to Bregman. Bet. All right.
Or he's gonna punch you in the lip.
Yeah, I'll pay to watch that.
Oh fuck! We'll figure out how to get you $35 million a year if we get to watch you punch him in the fucking mouth.
I'll go buy some jerseys right now.
Oh, all you gotta do is start a fucking GoFundMe. And be like,
that thing will blow up.
for every $10 million, he's gonna punch that motherfucker in the lip.
Bah! Bury me in the AIDS. Bye. Oh man. Of course, Forrest Whitley's injured. He's doing his Lance McCullers stuff, so we ain't gonna see him anytime soon. This is terrible. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I jinxed myself with that one because I said I wanted to see what he could do, and I should have known that he was gonna get injured in some fluky injury. Ooh, how do you hurt your middle finger like to where you can't throw? Like, what are you doing?
I hurt mine.
You know what? I don't want. Yes, but I know what you were doing. You're playing football. Like, what are you doing? Like, literally, Espada literally was like, I don't even know what the timetable was. We're just gonna wait. Like
It's like we don't care anymore.
he was like, I don't give a shit. I didn't even want him here. Like at this point, bro, like that they're being patient with me. It's just like, all right, bro, I'm getting tired of you. Ain't even my money yet.
Hey, so like I always think Houston is good. I don't want to go back to the Texans, but I'm going to. Like when we are aggressive in the draft, we usually do pretty good.
Yeah,
Would you be upset if they pull off another Will Anderson kind of trade to move up for a good player?
no,
Me neither.
because I feel like I should trust my GM and coach enough to where if they really feel that player is gonna pan out, then I'm gonna trust you. Say, I'm kind of going in blindly with them because I feel they deserve it from the two.
Okay, let me give you this scenario. We
Yeah,
don't re-sign Grenard. We let him walk, but we're aggressive in the draft and trade up for a pass rusher that we think can replace him. Would you be mad?
no, because I'm gonna trust you guys. I'm gonna. There's something that if Nick and D'Amico can agree on, then I'm gonna be like, all right, they see something or they know something or night man. Thanks for joining us, bro.
Thanks, bro. Because I think that's another scenario in play.
I would not hold it against them if there's a player they want. They're like, we're gonna trade up. You've talked about it many times of them doing trades to go up and get a player they want.
That's kind of how New England used to do it all the time, and they'd get the player they wanted. You know what I mean? And I think Casario has a little bit of that in him.
He don't care about nothing. I mean, when people were crying that, oh, why do we go up to get Will? What if he doesn't work? What if he does?
What if he's the fucking defensive rookie of the year?
What if he does? What if he hits on both freaking picks? It seems like every pick besides freaking Kendrick
King and Green.
Kenyon Green has worked out so far. And that one's a mystery because he's hurt. So
I mean, he had some good ones.
Nico did good. Tane's balled out. Xavier, I mean, looked pretty nice.
Fucking
He's fighting leukemia still.
Davis Mills got us C.J. Stroud, so it worked.
He balled that one game. Yeah.
You know what he did is he bought $1 scratch off that won him $2, and then he used the $2 scratch off to win a fucking Mega Million.
Hey, I'm cool with that. Whatever works.
That's what he did. He out there hustling.
I like it, Nick. All right. Last but not least, we got the Rockets.
Yeah, we still got him.
Yeah, they're gonna play the OKC.
Again,
that's gonna be a tough one.
I mean, if you really go back and look at it, I ain't tripping about it because we hung with them until Shea decided to not let us no more.
Superstar.
Yup. He's like, all right, I'm tired of fucking with y'all. Let me go ahead and do this.
Let me take over the game and do this. And everybody, if you haven't seen SGA play, your dude's special. So that's one of those things where I can't be mad at it.
I wouldn't even. I mean, I get it. We lost by a lot at the end, but I mean, he experimented with the lineup, and them young boys were playing. Amin Thompson is balling out of this world right now.
Amin, Cam,
Jabari. He's like just remembered he could rebound. The fact that he remembered he could rebound makes me almost want Ime to explore some lineups with Jabari at the 5. Bro, imagine this. Jalen, Cam, Amin, Dylan Brooks, and Jabari. And then somewhere, if you don't like one of the other ones, you can throw Van Vliet in there. And that's not even considering that Tari's coming back at some point.
Yeah.
That's really what I want, is we get to a point where we realize we're not going to make the tournament. I want him to shrink the lineup a little bit and give these young dudes a lot of minutes.
Man, I'm trying to think about it because it's like, all right, we got Amin. Amin has been balling. I just want to give him his flowers. Dude can play. small sample size, but for sure, I think he's going to be special for his athleticism and everything. Shooting, we'll work on that later. Cam is a freaking human highlight reel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we talked about it on a video before. We're not giving up on Jalen. There's a lot of stuff he can't. Consistency is probably the biggest thing he's got to work on. But I feel like that's a lot of them. He may harps on it a lot that they're all young, that they'll have a good game here or there, and then they just don't do it, and or their effort's gone, and it's all of them. I mean, no matter who you want to point the finger at, they're pretty much all at fault for certain things.
I just want to point the finger at one person, and I'm not pointing the finger at him for doing anything wrong. I just think that he's the person that could fix it. Is I don't feel like we're very raw anymore. Like sometimes it just feels like they just show up.
Yes.
I blame that on Dylan Brooks because Pat Bev wouldn't let that energy happen.
Yeah.
Do some dirty shit. Do something.
Yeah.
I guess Tari Eason would help with that, but he's not around.
It feels like something. I mean, even like when we had our goon squad, it doesn't even feel like we have that no more.
No, we don't. It's not that, bro. Just really think about the player personality. Jalen, Cam, and Amin. They got the fucking personality of somebody's left foot. All combined. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have no reaction or nothing. So, honestly.
No, it's true. But...
You know what I mean? Yeah. And Jabari and Sengun are always flexing and talking shit, but Dylan's not really doing nothing. So, I think Dylan just needs to rally the troops every now and again.
And I wonder if because like when it was Dylan and Tari, and then Jay Sean, it kind of felt like, all right, there's all three of us, we good. And then with Tari being out for so long, he's been out before All-Star.
It pretty much feels like he missed the whole season.
It pretty much has, and from what I read, they said they don't even have a timetable on him yet, so I don't even know when he's coming back. So that kind of hurts, but I mean, all in all, I do feel there's something that needs to rejuvenate this team. Whether it's like when we would see like Dylan versus LeBron, like you would see that team wake up. When you see like certain games of like, it just feels like there's a fire that is missing in the whole team. Like even with Ime, like a bit like.
Do you think it's like maybe their first real season, so now they're hitting like a wall, or do you think that Ime is too militant?
I could think a mixture of both.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Cause I can imagine having to be held to like a certain set of rules and shit for this long when for 2 years you didn't do shit. That would get to you.
Yeah, because at some point, I mean, you're battling the human aspect of. For the beginning of the year, it was kind of like the Shingun show, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is amazing," and then he kind of not saying fizzled out completely, but he hit that wall a bit. Then Jalen comes in, and then he hits that wall, and then everybody's hitting a wall at different moments.
But like Jabari been hit it, but now he's coming back out of it, so he's balling right now.
Yeah,
it's been that way all season. You just gotta wait for the hot hand to fucking show itself.
And like they asked Eric Gordon, they were like, "Do you think the Rockets need another player?" And he was like, "It's difficult." He goes, "You got a bunch of young guys that you don't want to trade, and then they end up hitting that what you think they can be, and they're on somebody else's team." He goes, "But also it's like you don't want to wait too long if you don't think they are." And I feel like with our guys right now, going into as much as it is, we wanted a playing game. It may happen, it may not, but as of the Steven Adams trade for next year, all eyes are on for sure next year. Like if you ain't competing, if you ain't playing, if you ain't showing up, you're getting booted out.
But that's the beauty of this year's team because like Amin Thompson, he's gotta get minutes from somewhere, and it's like damn, you got two players who might make sense to trade Jalen, either be Amin or Cam. You know what I mean?
And I mean, just make the best person stay on the team. At the end of the day, whatever helps you win a championship.
And I hate saying it, but I would much rather trade Jalen than put him on my bench, and that's only because I'm a Jalen Green fan. Like I think he's good.
No, I do too. I really do think he's good. I like him.
Yeah, they piss me off every now and again, but I'm still gonna sit here and watch the game that starts at 9 o'clock.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it for sure.
I don't know if I'm gonna watch the whole thing.
I'm not watching the whole thing, but I'm gonna watch most of it. I don't like 9 o'clock games.
I'm gonna I'm gonna watch as much as a full belly and a melatonin will let me.
I'm cool with that. All right. You got anything else to add?
Not really.
We're, we're I call this the calm before the storm. Rockets
Word.
are kind of doing their thing. Astros are getting started. The Texans are on bye or off time, but it's about to heat up again.
It's the gift given by the gods. There's like not a whole lot to keep track of, and the weather's perfect. They're like, get your ass outside before your ass gets real used to that seat.
Because when before summer, that late spring, early summer is when it just boom. All right, Houston fans, made to this point. Like, subscribe to our YouTube. Check out our social media. Everybody on Facebook. You can just keep following us. I got you covered. Other than that, stay safe, Houston. Have a good one. We are out of here. Much love.